So, I'm having a hard time making these videos right now, even though I have many in my head already. Uh, for the same reason I'm having a hard time with anything. I don't, I think a part of the, one component may be physical, because I am having some small, hopefully not too major health problems going on. But I also know, there's a huge psychological issue going on with just a lot of realizations slapping me in the face all at once. Like I talked about at a different time, just the thought of turning 50 has changed my perspective. And I really didn't want that to happen. I mean, not just all of a sudden overwhelm me type realizations. I was thinking just a few minutes ago, it's like I feel like I'm diminishing, and I've already diminished a significant amount. I'm likely over the halfway point in my life, and I don't have. There are many things that I used to have going for me, important things that I no longer have going for me, or to a diminished degree, such as, my hireability, for instance, for like a really good job. A decade ago, I probably still could have gotten something really good, at least financially, but maybe just a really good job in general if I had tried hard to find something. I still had a lot of energy and enthusiasm and idealism, and my brain was sharp, and being used regularly. So I don't have that so much now. I'd say my chances of being able to get a really good job like I could have a decade ago, I'd say I'm down to 50%, if that much. I mean, for one thing, my age, who's an employer going to choose between me and a 30-year-old if they want someone really good to be there long term, Because look at how long I have till retirement age versus them, And no, they're not supposed to discriminate based on age, but it's just logical that it happens at least some of the time. So there's that, and then obviously, if you're looking at a person's level of attractiveness, I doubt the most beautiful woman in the world is as attractive at 50 as she was at 20 or 30 or even 40. Yes, I know some people do age gracefully, but they've lost something from when they were young. And so that's a couple of major important things that it's kind of a blow to realize how much of that is gone. And then something else that I've been thinking about for quite some time is the concept of being awakened, metaphysically, I guess you could say, could be what people are referring to these days as woke. I'm not sure if that really encompasses it all, but I'm a student of Robert Anton Wilson, Timothy Leary. I firmly believe in the power of the mind and believe that we have only tapped a small percentage of its potential. And the whole concept that I read in Robert Anton Wilson's books concerning reality, and that there really is no such thing as reality. And then, everything he has to say about perspectives. All of that sunk in really well, and sometimes it's like, how in the Matrix, and when they woke up and realized where they really were, what life really was, out of this dream that they had or been in. And there was one guy who wanted to go back in because it was too much for him. Well, I get that feeling sometimes, that I wish I wasn't as aware of all of the billions of perspectives that there are out there. And I'd say that's probably why so many people are religious in some form or fashion, because we crave answers and rules and order, and for the most part, structure. Maybe that's that structure. And so, anyway, I watched this show on Netflix recently called Maniac, and one of the characters has a hard time distinguishing reality, or what we call reality, from a hallucination. And, well, I'm not like, hearing voices or seeing visions or anything. I mean, I'm not to that degree, but I do realize that I see all the different paths, or not all of them, but I see so many different paths that I could have taken, and I see so many paths that I wish I had taken, and I see it's trying to find the right words here. I guess I wish sometimes that I could quit realizing that, and being aware of the fact that I'm just existing right now, and barely at that. I have, right now I'm able to take care of myself financially, and I have a decent home. I have a car that is at least running. I have some great family, but I realize just how tenuous that grip that I have on my existence could be. How tenuous it has been for a lot of people, which is why they've ended up jobless, homeless, in jail, in prison, because all it takes is just slipping of the habit, the good habits, I mean, like, my routine of I get up and I go to work at the day job, Monday through Friday. I work at the night job, probably 3 or 4 nights a week, sometimes the weekends. I'm tired. I don't want to do it all the time, but I just keep myself going. I have this impetus that keeps me going because I know I need to have it to be able to be independent financially. Well, what if I woke up one day and was just like, this is pointless and meaningless. My job is pointless and meaningless. These material possessions that I work to have, the house and the car, they're meaningless. And just quit, let my house and my car get repossessed, go live with my mom or a sibling or something, I mean, and that happens to people. I mean, especially if they've gotten hooked on drugs or alcohol, other things snap them. Those kinds of things can snap them out of the routine that they need to keep up. Like job and stuff, So yeah, I mean, I'm not about to lose my routine and lose my ability to be independent and all that. But I wish really that I wouldn't even think about those things. Sometimes it would be so much easier if I could just be an automaton and carry on doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I need to be doing, what I should be doing. And it's also not a good combination of thoughts and ideas to have when I'm severely depressed, which I am. And it's stressful. I mean, probably gonna sound like a snowflake or something, but my depression gives me a degree of anxiety because I know there are all these things I could be doing, I should be doing, would probably make me feel better if I were doing them. And yet I cannot summon the energy or motivation to do hardly any of them, and I just, I don't want to feel like this anymore, and I am frustrated by it, and I want to just make myself snap out of it. But right at the moment, I'm not doing anything. I mean, that's why, coming back to why it's been hard for me to make these videos lately, it's been hard for me to do anything other than go to work, because at least that gives me some satisfaction of knowing that, hey, I'm taking care of myself, which means somebody else doesn't have to take care of me, and hopefully, I am slowly but surely paying the house down over time. Hopefully, if nothing else, maybe I'll accumulate some money that I can help family out with in some way, and at the very least leave my son an inheritance someday. But anyway, uh, I have to figure out what to do, how to pull myself out of this really deep slump, or I'm just gonna keep slipping away. That's the two choices, really.